Grateful Dead's favorite places to play, famously because Jerry Garcia said it was one of 2 places in the country that the Grateful Dead could really play, and it sounded great, and the lights were great, and all of that. And that was way back in 1970. It only got better. But I was here for every night the Dead played here after that, a total of 16 shows out of the 18 they played. And it wasn't really meant to last because the Dead were getting too big to play in 1,800-seat theater. And back then, the city of Portchester was not that friendly to hippies or rock bands or the Grateful Dead in particular.
We got the mayor here today.
That's right. Things have changed. And so when Pete Shapiro and his amazing team beautifully restored and reopened this theater in 2012, the city embraced it. They embraced the Deadheads, to the point that the local fire department had Steelies on their fire engines, and they Phil Lesh an honorary firefighter. And that extends all the way to the wonderful people at the La Picardia Taqueria, who put Dead stuff all over their walls and played Dead music constantly. So this became one of the Grateful Dead epicenters of the world, and a big part of that was the fact that Phil, he started playing here in 2012, about 2 months after the theater opened. Around 2013, he decided he was going to get largely off the road and devote most of his music making to his home base at Terrapin Crossroads and find a nice place to play on the East Coast a whole lot. And there was no nicer place than the Capitol Theater. Phil wound up playing 106 shows here. Right up to these dates 1 year ago. And the birthday celebrations were always especially joyous. So it's an honor to be here for this well-deserved honor to our dear friend Phil. And I want to turn it over to the man who brought the Capitol back to Portchester and the man who brought Phil back to the Capitol, my friend and yours, Peter Shapiro.
First of all, a couple of thank yous, because it's hard to do this, and it does take a village. First to our team, to the CAP team, to Steph May, who really thought of us. Anthony Tyrone got along with the crew, but the mayor's here today. Louis Marino is going to make support. The village manager, we want to thank Stuart Rabin. We want to thank Rocky Camareri, who put the sign up that we're about to go see. We want to thank Bart Didden and Joan Thomas and Phil D'Orazio, who are trustees and really helped out. And on behalf of Ken Jenkins, who couldn't be here, as the Westchester County Executive, I want to thank Sherry Rosen Asher, Blanca Lopez, and Natasha Caputo, who runs Westchester Tourism. And I'll bet there's some people here today who aren't just from New York. So thank you. And actually, that was one of the coolest things when we started doing these shows. When Phil played in 2012 for the first time, we sat in catering with your mom. And they said, you know what, instead of doing Philly and Boston and DC in the bus, we'll just, how about we just play here and we'll see if those people will come here. And the Filton is not here anymore. We do need another hotel. But that is what happened. It was so cool. We would look after the runs, the shows, and we would see all the zip codes where people would come from. And it is true that we would have people come from around America to see their favorite music, their favorite musician, always playing it in different setups. That's what Phil loved to do, particularly with Grahame. But it was so cool to see that each time he would come through, it would be with different people. And we're really fortunate to have a lot of those different people here back today with us. So thanks for coming out. And he came, we celebrated his birthday every year, as you guys probably know. And then when he passed in October, we were like, we still got to celebrate the birthday. And I hope we get to do that for a long time. We want to thank Grahame for embracing that idea. 2 shows in 3 and 4. And my final thing I'll just say is, it's a crazy world out there, and it's cool to see. I think people love this so much because it's nice to have something that doesn't change. We can rely on, and we try to do it in new ways, but it's still the same, but it's new, and we're going to keep trying to do that. And someone who reflects that, please welcome really feel like family to us after like 2 years, or a cousin, my second cousin, Grahame Lesh.
I see a lot of familiar faces. I'm gonna keep this really quick because I don't want to ruin my voice this weekend. Big weekend, as you can imagine. But it's really special to my entire family to see all of you here. Familiar faces, maybe some new faces. This whole weekend is just such an honor for all of us. My dad loved all of you so much, and we do too. So yeah, thank you, Pete. Thank you to all the musicians. Thank you to all of you. Yeah, we love you.
Now we're going to go over to the corner and we're going to unveil Phil Lesh Lane.
Don't tell me this town ain't got no heart! Yeah.